Hi everyone, it's Norm here, and on today's episode we're going to be learning about the red-headed woodpecker. This is a woodpecker that you don't commonly see in the Tall-grass Prairie natural area, but once you do see it, you won't soon forget it. It's quite a unique bird, not only in its looks, but also in its behavior. So stay tuned and we'll learn all about this species at risk. In southeastern Manitoba, there is a little confusion in what a red-headed woodpecker really is. So we have other woodpeckers like the downy, hairy, pileated, and sapsucker that all have red on their head, but not quite to the same degree that this red-headed woodpecker does have. So their entire head, including this throat, is that bright crimson color of red. Another good ID feature is the rest of the coloration. You'll notice how the black and white plumage is all in blocks. With our other woodpeckers, they're more mottled. So the male and female are nearly identical in ID. The only one that's a little different is the juvenile. Juveniles are a little bit more duller in appearance, but they all do have that standard sturdy, long bill that is a feature of all woodpeckers. Their size is about that of a blue jay. Red-headed woodpeckers are only found in Canada and the US. Here in Canada, they're found in the southern portions of Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, and Quebec. In Manitoba, they're in search of particular habitat, which is well-grazed woodlots, wooded grasslands, around forest edges, and around agricultural lands, shelter belts. What's really important for these birds is the presence of old growth or dead standing trees. It's important for them for breeding, food storage, and nest building. When it comes to nest building, a monogamous pair will create a cavity in the tree and they'll lay 4 eggs. The eggs will take about 2 weeks to hatch, and when they do hatch, the young will stay with the parents until that fall migration. The red-headed woodpecker will spend their winters in the bottom 2/3 of their US range. So that's from the Great Plains east to New England and as far south as the Gulf Coast. As mentioned earlier, red-headed woodpeckers are really unique in their looks. Now I'm going to talk about what makes them unique with their behavior. First of all, they're the most omnivorous of all woodpeckers in North America. That means that they eat everything from nuts, acorns, fruit, even on occasion small rodents, frogs, eggs, and believe it or not, other birds. Now something else that they eat is insects. Now how they hunt these insects is quite unique, and the hunting style is more commonly seen in flycatchers. So they'll sit out on a perch, fly down, grab an insect, and come back. Now interestingly enough, sometimes they've been watched putting these insects like beetles and grasshoppers that are still alive, and they'll put them into the tree and they'll save them for later. So we call that a food cache. So this is pretty neat. We have a red-headed woodpecker right here in the yard. Of course, it's on the hydro pole. The reason for the red-headed woodpecker to be listed as a species at risk is largely due to the loss of these old-growth large trees. So I've talked already about how much they depend on them, but actually the ecosystem around us depends on them as well. These red-headed woodpeckers create cavities that provide nesting or shelter for dozens of other birds and mammals. So the Canadian population of red-headed woodpeckers is going down about 3.5% per year. That leaves us with somewhere between 700 and 5,000 breeding pairs left in Canada, and that's mostly in Ontario and Manitoba. So if you have old dead-standing trees on your property, consider leaving them up. You might just attract this unique species at risk, the red-headed woodpecker. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.